right, Ghoulies, we're here at Mighty Con in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Looks like a great event. Comic books everywhere. And I've been a comic book fan for a long time, Ghoulies. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Frank Thorne and Jack Kirby were both pen pals of mine when I was a kid. I would send them drawings and whatnot, and it was really a cool experience to get letters and very encouraging to stay involved in the arts. And I think that's one of the great things about the comic book legacy, and people become artists because of it. And well, you can see it's a great event, Mighty Con, and it's for all ages. So I'm going to go in and check it out. Come on. All right, we're here at Mighty Con in Milwaukee, and we're talking to Bill. You're one of the organizers of this fine event.
Yes, I am. I want to first off thank you for coming out, and thank some great costume characters for coming out today.
And this is Justin, and you just told me.
James.
James, okay. You know, after 530 years, you start slipping a little bit.
It's understandable.
So how many years have you been doing this Mighty Con?
This is our second year here in Milwaukee. We actually started off in Chicago. I have some great shows down there, but I love the Milwaukee crowd. I love the people. I love the places up here, and we just can't get enough of the city.
Can't get enough. Yeah, Milwaukee's a great town, old stomping grounds. And well, you two got some interesting costumes. What's this all about?
Well, I just woke up and came.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
I just opened the lid and crawled out. You know? Very good. Now, what's some of the things that you know, for people that haven't been to this event before, what's the kind of things that they're going to see here?
Well, comics, of course, which sadly nowadays is getting harder to find at comic book shows. A lot of the bigger ones, comics are getting fewer and fewer, but we also got toys, video games, board games, and what's one of the most fun things here, original artists. Lots of crafts, lots of art, lots of prints, all that stuff that people put their hearts and souls into making and bring out here to show off.
Well, that's a great thing. We did a little tour, and we already seen some great people that we plan to interview. Now, we were talking about the new Godzilla. What did you think of the new Godzilla?
I enjoyed it. Now, I was raised on Godzilla. I mean, I spent all night when I was a kid sitting up on USA Up all night watching the Troma films and the Toho films.
Okay.
And two totally different ends of the spectrum, but both a lot of fun. And for the Godzilla films, the new one had a feeling of the old style for me. It was heavily Americanized, no question about that. But at least it had that style, unlike the film that shall not be named.
Is that what we call that one?
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Film that shall not be named.
Right.
You know, they could have called it Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, and I would have been fine with that.
Absolutely.
And,
nothing
you know,
wrong with there.
if they just wouldn't have had the title, you know, especially with Godzilla '98, which is what we're talking about.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how they could have goofed it any worse. That really left a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
It had to be intentional.
It was,
at a certain point. I mean,
well, they thought they were going to reinvent the character and kind of steal like some kind of rights or something. And
absolutely.
Every hardcore Godzilla fan rejected that film. And the new one, I was very disappointed. The trailers had alluded me to more like the first Godzilla, which really was a metaphor for the atom bomb and Hiroshima and that kind of combination. And it's way more of an ominous movie. If you've seen it in Japan without Raymond Burr watering it down, it's a much of a deeper movie. But the one thing that I can say in the positive about the new Godzilla 2014 is that the director managed to keep the reins on the CGI.
Yes.
It didn't, you didn't have, like the new Kong, it just lost me when he's falling down into the cavern and those three Tyrannosaurus Rexes are just jumping, beating everywhere as he's falling, that kind of stuff. Or, the old, if you're going to jump off a building and hang by one hand by a rope, Spider-Man, you can get away with that, but
right, regular people,
not other people.
Takes you out of the movie.
Yeah, right. And I think the CGI just takes over the film in too many instances. It drives the plot. I like smaller movies myself, but yeah, definitely though the guy kept it under control, and you really got the girth of Godzilla, even though he kind of looked like a big grizzly bear.
Yes, get a little extra weight on him.
How about Godzilla versus Gigan? Was that go down as probably the worst Japanese version of Godzilla?
See, but I still have fun with terrible ones like that. I can still laugh at them, and for me, that's part of the joy of.
Other fans will come out and say Godzilla's Revenge, horrible, was the worst.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But at least that had more directing going on. It seems like with Gigan, the director just left the studio and they just let monsters fight for like forever. And then the Godzilla suit's literally falling apart on screen.
Yes.
And at one point, his whole arse is all burnt down like a rubber tire. Watch that scene. It looks like a flattened rubber tire burn. But no, we definitely all love those films.
Absolutely.
All right. Any other special horror films you guys like? Start with
I mean, any of the classics. I love the old Universal stuff.
Right.
Again, it's what I was raised on, and it's set the bar for everything to come after. I hate the new jump scare stuff. I want real, true horror.
True horror. And how about you?
I say give me Pinhead.
Pinhead, all right. Well, it's interesting because, you know, I have the guys that run the Days of the Dead convention, my favorite convention, by the way. They'll visit my show quite often, and they're a couple 20 years younger than me, and to them, Pinhead and you know, Freddy Krueger, that's classic horror to them. I'm like, no, that's not classic horror to me.
It's great. It's fun. I mean, I love it too. But
you know, I'd simply answer that question. I'd say all the Universal movies, all the Hammer films, all the Toho films, all the Roger Corman, Vincent Price combination movies. You know, all his Black Cat and Edgar Allan Poe theme stuff. Pretty much. You know, where the movie company's kind of stuck with that certain feel.
yeah.
And, you know, other than that, in the modern way, the only one that's done that is Tim Burton. That's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
all his movies they all have a little thread that combines them together. Even though that thread seems to unravel a little bit. I mean,
He seems a little unraveled at times, but
well,
in a fun way.
Yeah, but, you know, Johnny Depp's not doing, he's kind of, there are people out complaining about him and his, they didn't like Dark Shadows. And
Yes.
I don't know, I got a little bit weird when they started playing the Carpenters, but you kind of fit for what they were doing. I definitely love about Danny Elfman's score for that movie,
Yeah.
so that'll make me stick through it.
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to journey on forward into MightyCon and talk to some of the artists inside.
Great. Come on in.
Oh, there you are, Ghoulies. I'd like to ask you two about, well, we'll start with you and start with your costume and how it's put together, what you made yourself, and what can you tell us about this one?
Well, of course, all this is custom made. The gentleman who made the actual costume itself is actually based out in London. He does all of the screen-accurate Power Ranger movie costumes. So this is all custom stuff, all casted from different pieces from the movie as well. So like the coins here are all screen-casted.
Okay.
The helmet is actually made here in the States. This was made by a gentleman who owns a company called Legacy Concepts. So the helmet is a screencast from the stunt helmet from the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger series.
Okay.
So not fun to breathe in, but looks pretty awesome on.
Pretty awesome. Now, those guys must have had a little bit of trouble breathing doing all those karate moves in the
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, the actual show, whenever they had anybody in like the stunt suits, instead of a plastic piece over here, what they would do is they would just drill a bunch of holes through it. So it's easier for them to see and it wouldn't fog up. So
Okay. Are you a fan of Ultraman at all?
You know, I do. You know, it's just whenever it comes to superheroes in general, just down.
You know, Pigman died for humanity, right? You know what I'm talking about? That's funny. All right, let's get an explanation here because I'm lost.
Sure, Batman the Red Hood.
Okay.
He's the second Robin who was killed by the Joker. When he's brought back to life, he was a little bit insane. He doesn't have Batman's sense of doesn't mind taking people's lives if it means for the good of the city, as opposed to Batman just throwing them in the market. All my stuff is off the shelf jacket. All this stuff is actually airsoft body armor and airsoft guns. So it's just airsoft equipment. My helmet was done by the Iron Forge.
Okay.
They have a whole line of helmets they do. A lot of Boba Fett type helmets.
Awesome.
And but they also did a Red Hood line, so I purchased that one.
Very, very good, very good. It's great that you come to get events, and I'm sure you have a hard time making it even a couple of feet without getting pictures, right?
It's a constant thing. As soon as you start walking, somebody else is grabbing on your costume or wanting to take pictures with you. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun though, because you're bringing people's childhoods to life and you know
Right.
bring them into the whole feel of things.
Yes, that's a good thing about these kind of conventions, and of course all the artwork that's inside. I mean, that's really where I started too. So. All right, we're going to continue on at MightyCon 2015. There you are, Ghoulies. We're here with Don and Andrea, and you're going to tell us about your button booth. What's going on here?
Well, the main thing is Fear and Sunshine. It's my series about a little hippie girl raising monsters and learning mad science.
Well, that's a novel approach.
Everything you need. It's got zombies, werewolves, a bunny, America's answer to Harry Potter.
Ah, there you go. There you go. How did you get mixed up in this one?
I like to think of myself as his Pepper Potts.
Okay.
I help him out, make sure we're chalking up his little stories here, from everything from, of course, the very important bunny to the very important monsters, and down to our little zombies, our little zombie beans. We've even got a whole game on Android and iPhone that you get for free, where you shoot brains at the zombies. So we got a little bit of everything for everyone.
You know, I've been really wanting to put together, you know, if I get a nice hall like this and do a good zombie spaghetti dinner. People dressed as zombies eating spaghetti. I think there's something could be really cool about that, you know. Maybe they could eat some cauliflower on the side to look like brains. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. We'll keep you posted, Ghoulies, about everything happening here at Mighty Con, as well as a proposal for a zombie spaghetti dinner. I've seen you at Harbor Market, huh?
Yep.
I busted Ray Forgiani's chops so many times about that because he told me I could have my bus there because of the subject matter, and you've got a sign that says monsters on it, so I'd say that's double standards.
I can get you down there.
Yeah, oh, I'm done. All right, Ghoulies. All right. Here we are, Ghoulies, at Mighty Con with Ryan, and why don't you give us a description of some of your great artwork and what you do and where you're from?
Sure, yeah. My name is Ryan. I'm part of Milwaukee Alt and Milwaukee Alt. We got a bunch of local Milwaukee and Wisconsin themed artwork, from movie monsters, you know, Godzilla, Creature from the Black Lagoon, to Star Wars inspired, you know, neighborhoods, a lot of local flavor. Yeah, a lot of, you know, acrylics, airbrushing, digital, spray paint, something for everyone.
You know Stephen Summers by any chance?
I do. He is amazing.
He is amazing.
Horror work. Yeah.
I think I got him into the Lovecraft stuff. He wasn't doing as much of that, but it seems like, boy, he sure ran with that ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get him down at the Dorian Gray Art Show, which we're going to leave these guys a flyer for. Dorian Gray Art Show, by the way, Ghoulies, that's going to be April 18th at the Mosquito Gallery in Kenosha, and there's a $200 prize for best entry. So
that's a great place.
You've been to Mosquito Gallery?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had stuff in there 2 years ago for their Halloween show, and yeah, great stuff.
Great stuff. You know Corey Chapman? We know it's a small state after all, isn't it? All right. Any last ways the Ghoulies out there can get a hold of you and find out what you're about?
Yeah, on Facebook you can check out Milwaukee Alt. Just give us, you know, you can type it in on Google. Again, my name's Ryan Lasig. Feel free to contact me any way you feel like it.
Good. All right, thanks a lot.
All right, on we go. There you are, Ghoulies. We're still at Mighty Con, winding it down here, and we're talking to the legendary Angela Goth. And what do you got going on here?
All sorts of tiles.
Tiles.
They're all sorts of tiles, but they can be coasters, they can go on a shelf, they can go in a bathroom.
Okay.
Universal uses. Also, those are...
What are those?
Those are hanging ones.
Hanging ones.
There.
Are they green hanging ones with white hair? One could only wish here on Crimson Theater.
Also, these are boxes. Can you even hear them? Different shapes, different sizes. The small ones are 5, the bigger ones are 10.
Very good, very good.
And we have these, which are lovely shaped.
Lovely shaped candles, right?
Candles for $5 each.
Well, you can't go wrong. When the lights go out, you got a nice, cool, gothic-y looking candle.
And these are little pens.
Just in case you might run into a vampire.
So when you don't look.
Are those crossbows or crosses? Or just sort of?
Characters.
Oh, they're characters. How rude of me.
Like little El Diablo.
El Diablo. We know him well on Crimson Theater. He's sort of a Crimson Red himself.
A little vampire. That was Winter Green. Winter Green is in the background somewhere.
Winter Green. He's got a pin in his heart.
That's awesome.
Well, I was thinking of a new character called Edgar Liar. He's sort of like a Pinocchio.
That'd be great.
You can't get a reputation like that. It's not no good. Makes me. I'm starting to see what's going on here. We're watching. Anyway, we had a great time today at Mighty Con 2015. We'll see you next year, Ghoulies.